I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace Aros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. And before we get started on the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, first, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you learn everything you need to know about the show. Once you get good and educated about the show, then you can click on that merchandise tab. It's going to take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt, our Pride logo t-shirt, all of our different special event t-shirts, and so much more. All the gimmicks you've come to know and love and expect from the Renegades of Puck are still available in our online store. Socks, throw pillow, wall art, bed sets, and so much more. Many items right now up to 60% off in our online store as part of our Black Friday Thanksgiving sale. So please check it out today. That's Renegades of Puck merchandise. We've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this hockey operation, so listen up. Here's how you can support the Renegades of Puck. First of all, YouTube. Let's start right there. That's where you can find Renegades of Puck TV. It's also where you can find our individual video breakdowns of recaps and previews of each and every game and our analysis segments. So please check us out on YouTube. Give us a subscription today. Turn on those notifications. Also, you can find us on the audio platforms of Spotify, Google, Stitcher, and so many others. Thanks to the Full Press Predators podcast, the Full Press NHL network. Everything is incredible right now thanks to their support, taking us from local to global in the year 2023. We sure do appreciate all of the help we're getting there with the audio platforms and the podcast for the Renegades of Puck. You can also find us on social media on a myriad of different places. Please check us out on your preferred platform today. We have an account on Threads now. You can also find us on Facebook. You can find us on, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, or X, or whatever the hell it's called. You can find us in all of those different places. So please give us a follow along on social media today and help us out. It doesn't cost you a penny. It doesn't take you a second, but it sure goes a long way to helping us out. Now, Venmo, that's how you can help financially support the Renegades Puck. Make a donation by scanning the QR code that's currently on your screen, or just search Renegades of Puck in Venmo today. You can help us out by donating a little bit right now. We are going through some technical complications behind the scenes, and we've had to go ahead and purchase a brand new computer system. It was time anyway, so please, if you can spare $1, it would go a long way to helping the Renegades of Puck in our brand new computer upgrades as we move on into operation number 825. Now, speaking of that, it's time to get to the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. Time for operation number 825. That's right, it is time for show number 825, and at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 5th place in the Central Division after 19 games skated. They have a record of 9-10. They have 18 points and find themselves 8 points behind a trio of teams that are tied for first place in the Central Division. Let's start right there, and then we'll make our way into the Nashville Predators' next matchup, which will take place on home ice against the Winnipeg Jets, who happen to be one of those 3 teams that are currently tied for first place in the Central Division. The Colorado Avalanche are technically in first place with a record of 13-6. They have 26 points. The Winnipeg Jets are in second place with a record of 12-5-2. They also have 26 points. Then the Dallas Stars at 12-5-2, also with 26 points, are in third place. You'll find the St. Louis Blues with a record of 10-8-1 at 21 points, and the Nashville Predators in 5th place with a record of 9-10 and 18 points. Arizona also at 18 points in 6th place. Minnesota at 14, and Chicago in 8th and last in the Central Division with 12 points. All teams have skated in 19 games in the Central except for 7th and 8th place Minnesota and Chicago. Now, the Nashville Predators' next opponent is the Winnipeg Jets, currently tied for first place in the Central Division on the road, which is where the next game will take place for Winnipeg. They are 6-2-1 on the season. They've scored 69 goals, and they've given up 56 against. The Nashville Predators on home ice at Bridgestone Arena are 6-4. They have 64 goals scored on the season and 62 goals given up on the season. For the Nashville Predators, once they wrap up this next game against the Winnipeg Jets, Tuesday they'll host the Pittsburgh Penguins. Thursday they'll host the Minnesota Wild. Saturday they will host the New York Rangers, and then Sunday off to Buffalo. December is the busiest month on the schedule for the Nashville Predators, and they start off with a back-to-back right there at the beginning of the month of December. Now, For the Nashville Predators and the Winnipeg Jets, this is the second of 4 meetings between these Central Division rivals. They met once before on November the 9th. It was the Winnipeg Jets scoring a 6-3 victory in Winnipeg. For the Predators, it was Phil Forsberg with 2 goals and Philip Tomasino with a goal. UC Saros 31 of 36, but he took the loss. Brossoit in net for Winnipeg went 20 out of 23 and picked up the victory. Connor led the way offensively with 3 goals and 1 assist for 4 points, but he wasn't the only one with 4 points. Scheifele had 4 assists in that game. The Winnipeg Jets were simply dominant against the Nashville Predators. There is no denying that in that game. These 2 teams will meet 2 times in the second half of the season in the 2024 calendar portion of this season. On March the 13th, the Predators will be in Winnipeg for the second and final trip this season. And then on April the 9th, the Nashville Predators will welcome Winnipeg for the second and final time to Bridgestone Arena this year in the regular season, that is. For the Nashville Predators, an injury update. Luke Schenn is back skating at practice, but still listed on IR. Novak still approximately 2 to 4 weeks before being available to return from injured reserve, and Glass is on injured reserve as well. Now, let's dive into the Winnipeg Jets, and then we'll get into the matchup between these 2 Central Division rivals. Let's go back and talk about the last 5 games for the Winnipeg Jets, and they have been red hot as of late. They have been climbing in the standings, and the Nashville Predators have been climbing in the standings as well. Just a week ago, the Preds were in last place. Now they're in 5th place. Well, the Winnipeg Jets were right around 4th, 5th place, and now they are tied for 1st place. They have been on a run, and it was November the 14th. They had a 6-3 win versus the New Jersey Devils. Followed that up on the 17th with a 3-2 win versus the Buffalo Sabres. On the 18th of November, a 5-2 win versus Arizona. On the 22nd of November, a 3-2 overtime win in Tampa Bay. And most recently on the 24th of November, a 3-0 win at Florida. Hellebuck gets a shutout with 33 saves in that game. So every single one of those games I talked about for the Winnipeg Jets in their previous 5, all wins, and they are performing at quite a high level at this moment in the season. When it comes to the rankings and the matchup between these 2 teams, the Nashville Predators 3.37 goals per game, the best that they've had all season. That is 10th best in the NHL, while the Winnipeg Jets 3.63 goals per game is 7th best in the NHL. When these 2 teams played the first game of the season, Winnipeg scored 6 times against the Nashville Predators. In the goals against category, Winnipeg giving up 2.89 per game is 9th overall in the NHL, while the Predators giving up 3.26 per game is 18th in the NHL. So the Nashville Predators have a very narrow margin between goals for and goals against so far on the season. In the shots for category, the Nashville Predators generating 31.6. The Winnipeg Jets are also generating 31.6. That has them 12th and 13th respectively in the NHL. In the shots against category, Predators giving up 30.1 per game is 14th overall in the NHL, while the Winnipeg Jets are only giving up 28.1 shots per game. That is 5th best in the entirety of the NHL, and the Nashville Predators have certainly been generating above their average per game shots these last few games. So it'll be very interesting to see how the Nashville Predators shots on goal versus the Winnipeg Jets shots against metric really compare in this matchup at Bridgestone Arena. Things are a little bit different for the Predators on home ice. They are a better team at home, that is for certain. When it comes to the special teams for both of these teams, the Winnipeg Jets power play 18.5% is 21st in the NHL, 12 out of 65 on the season. The Nashville Predators are 20% conversion on the power play. That's 18th best in the NHL. They've converted 16 times on 80 opportunities. On the penalty kill, the Nashville Predators 73.4% kill rate is 27th overall, and they have given up 17 power play goals. Again, 73.8% is the kill rate for the Winnipeg Jets. That's 26th in the league, just one spot ahead of the Nashville Predators. They've given up just one less power play goal against them. The Predators giving up 16 on the season. Let's talk individual statistics and statistics leaders for each of these teams. Philip Forsberg with 11 goals and 13 assists for 24 points leads the Nashville Predators, and 24 points in 19 games for Forsberg is highly impressive, off to one of the best starts, if not the best start of his entire career through the first 20 games. O'Reilly at 10 goals and 8 assists for 18 points has been an incredible addition to this Nashville Predators team this season. Nyquist also very quietly getting the job done out there. 2 goals, 12 assists for 14 points. 3rd overall on the team in scoring. So your Nashville Predators top line of Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist are 1, 2, and 3 in scoring on the team. Tommy Novak is on injured reserve. but still sits at fourth on the team in scoring, 6 goals, 6 assists for 12 points. Luke Evangelista is second amongst rookies, just behind Connor Bedard of Chicago, 3 goals and 9 assists for 12 points so far on the season. On the other side of the ledger, when it comes to the Winnipeg Jets and their leading scorers, Connor, who just lit the Nashville Predators up this last time they played for 3 goals and an assist, has 14 goals overall in the season, plus 8 assists for 22 points. Scheifele at 7 and 15 for 22 points. Morrissey, 3 goals and 15 assists for 18 points. Cole Perfetti also scored against the Nashville Predators the last time these two teams played. He has 6 goals in the season, 10 assists for 16 points, and Appleton's at 6 and 9 for 15. Anticipated goaltender matchup, Connor Hellebuck, 10-4 and 1.908 save percentage, 2.65 goals against average. UC Saros, 6-9 and 8.94 save percentage, a 3.13 goals against average. Last game for UC Saros, trending in the right direction. The numbers still not looking so great. Just the updated numbers on Kevin Lankinen, 3-1 on the season, a 9.13 save percentage, a 2.79 goals against average. That's going to have you all set up for the Nashville Predators Sunday evening against the Winnipeg Jets at Bridgestone Arena. Very much looking forward to that game and wrapping up a great weekend of hockey here in Middle Tennessee. Nashville Predators getting an opportunity to play in front of the home crowd a couple of times, even squeezing in a road game on Black Friday. And we're going to talk about that game coming up in the next segment. It's called the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap, and it's coming up next right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap. We go all the way back to November the 24th of the year 2023 when the Nashville Predators were in St. Louis to take on the Blues for the first time this season. Head coach Andrew Brunette deployed his lines for the post-Thanksgiving matinee in the following way. Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist make up your first line. Sherwood, Parson, and Evangelista make up your second line. Trennan, Sissons, and Foodie. Smith, McCarron, and Tomasino on the fourth line. McDonough and Yossi, Luzon and Carrier, Stastny, and Barry are your defensive pairings, and Kevin Lankinen gets the start in net for the Nashville Predators. And we start at 1:20 of the first period with Kevin Lankinen coming with a save on Krug. It's the first shot on goal of the game at 1:47 of the first period. It's Hofer coming with a save on Evangelista, the first shot on goal for the Nashville Predators. At 2:10 of the first period, Hofer makes a save on Sherwood. 3:42, Lankinen comes with a save on Thomas, backhand attempt at the 5-hole. He shuts it down. 4:44 of the first period, Lankinen comes up with a save on Saad, squeezes the rebound while falling backwards. Tough save right there. 5:23 of the first period, it's Lankinen coming up with a save on Kapanen. A solid pace and transition to this game early on. Certainly no feeling out period between these two for the first meeting of the season. At 6:57 of the first period, we have our first goal of the game. It's Philip Forsberg. His 10th goal of the season gives the Nashville Predators a 1-0 lead. It was Luzon's long shot. It trickled through Hofer and was pounced on by Philip Forsberg before anybody else could find it. Good goal, 10th of the season for Philip Forsberg. And the Nashville Predators lead 1-0. We had 7:24 of the first period. It's Jakov Trenin, his third goal of the season, making it 2-0 for the Nashville Predators. It's a backhander that trickles through and is pushed over the line by Hofer's pad. It was reviewed by the officials, not challenged by the Nashville Predators, and it was deemed to be a good goal. Trenin's third of the season gives the Nashville Predators a 2-0 lead in the first period in St. Louis. At 7:50 of the first period, we've got our first penalty of the game. It's Ryan McDonough. He's off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. We would see Lankinen come up with a save on Pernovich, and we would see Lankinen come up with a save on Thompson. One more on Shen before the end of the penalty kill. At 11:46, back to 5-on-5 hockey. Hofer a save on Sherwood. Then in 13 minutes, Hofer another save on Trennan. 13:25 of the first period. It's Luzon versus Shen. 5 minutes each. Late hit on Yossi got Luzon a bit upset, and they settled it with the fists. At 14:53 of the first period. It's Luke Evangelista's second goal of the season and gives the National Predators a 3-0 lead here in the first period. It was an open net finish after some incredible puck movement and passing by Sherwood and Carrier to find Evangelista wide open with the open net, and a 3-0 lead here in the first for the Nashville Predators. 14:46 of the first. Hofer comes up with a save on Forsberg at 16:32. St. Louis on the board. Bukanovich's 7th of the season gives the Blues their first goal of the game and makes the score now 3-1, still in favor of the Nashville Predators. It was a bar down redirect with heavy battle all around. St. Louis was owning the net front in this scenario, and this goal would give St. Louis quite a bit of momentum, some jets on their skates for the next couple of shifts. 17:13 in the first. Lankinen coming up with a save on Kyrou, plus the follow-up by Tropichenko at 17:30. Nyquist does get a chance to hit the iron off of the rush. 18:17, Lankinen right back to work. That was save on Krug. 19:18, Lankinen a save on Parayko, and St. Louis is just controlling the play. All the Nashville Predators were able to do over the final couple of minutes was basically dump the puck and go for changes. We hit the end of the first period. What seemed like a comfortable 3-1 lead is not so much so, with St. Louis really grinding away at the end of the first period. St. Louis outshoots Nashville 18-14 in the first. Physical start to the second period on the clean sheet by the St. Louis Blues. They are certainly imposing their will from the end of the first to the beginning of the second, but at 2:45 of the second, it's Stastny for the Nashville Predators scoring his first goal of his career. It was a wrist shot from the slot, a great read to jump into the middle of the play on the rush right there, gets himself wide open and uses the Evangelista feed to then use a look-off pass, but then opts to shoot and puts the puck in the net for his first career goal, giving the Nashville Predators a 4-1 lead. At this point, a goaltending change for the St. Louis Blues. Hofer is out and Binnington is in net. At 3:04 of the second period, it's Alexandrov off to the box, 2 minutes for interference. We would see Buchnevich then off the box, 2 minutes for hooking. This would lead to a 5-on-3 scenario for the Nashville Predators power play for 1 minute and 6 seconds potentially. O'Reilly would capitalize on the 5-on-3 with his 10th goal this season. It was a back post slam off of Philip Forsberg's great cross the top of the crease pass. O'Reilly converts right there, giving the Nashville Predators a 5-1 lead on the 5-on-3 power play goal. Now, this isn't officially a power play goal. It comes just after the power play expires, but it looked like it was at first. So Evangelista, his third goal of the season, just as the 5-on-4 expires. Tomasino did a lot of incredible hard work right there, setting up Evangelista for the finish right there on the top of the blue paint. And the Nashville Predators, as quickly as they can, score 3 goals in this period. They are now 6-1 after just a few minutes of play. We go to 7 minutes of the second period. Lankinen coming with a save on Parayko. At 8:03 of the second period, Buchnevich going to the box, 2 minutes for tripping on Ryan McDonough. Binnington comes up with a save on Philip Forsberg, then comes up with another save on Colton Sissons. And then we flip to the back of the sheet and we pick it up in the second period at 10:17. That's where we find Thomas scoring his 8th goal of the season, St. Louis's second goal of the game. It was a one-timer from the left circle, a lapse in the defensive effort by the Nashville Predators in their own zone. They kind of went to sleep for a couple of seconds here, and it only takes a couple of seconds in the NHL to find the puck in the back of your own net. So Thomas, opportunist right here with the one-timer, his 8th of the season, and that gives the Nashville Predators a 6-2 lead now in the second period. 11:56 of the second period. Lankinen comes up with a save on Captain with the D support, clearing the rebound out of the low slot area. Great job by the defense right there. 14:57 of the second period. Lankinen comes up with a save on Kyrou. 15:25, Binnington a save on Yossi. 16:33, Lankinen a save on Kyrou. Again, at 17:29 of the second period, it's Philip Forsberg's 11th goal of the season, giving the Nashville Predators a 7-2 lead. O'Reilly starts the play on the end wall with just the utmost patience, kicks the puck along to the half wall where Smith does a lot of hard work, and then makes the pass to Philip Forsberg, who is set up for the snipe in the face-off circle. Philip Forsberg's 11th goal of the season, the Nashville Predators' 7th goal of the game, and it's still the second period. At 17:57 of the second period, it's Sundqvist off to the box, 2 minutes for high sticking. 0 shots on goal for the Nashville Predators, but I think they were just fine seeing the second period come to its conclusion. The Blues still out shooting the Nashville Predators after 2 periods, 27-22, but the Preds lead the game 7-2. On to the clean sheet for the third period, We're 1:15 in, and Forsberg is off to the box. 2 minutes for high sticking. Lankinen has to come out with a big save on Neighbors, and then at 4:16 of the third period, Barry is off to the box. 2 minutes for interference. At this point, we would see Neighbors convert for St. Louis on the power play. His 5th of the season would be a tip-in, while the Preds were scrambling and diving all over the place on the penalty kill. The Preds just unable to continue bending. They eventually broke on this one. Neighbors' 5th is St. Louis's 3rd of the game. The Preds lead 7-3. At 7:12 of the third period, Lankinen comes up with a save on Toropchenko, and then the rebound follow-up. 7:52, Binnington comes up with a save on McCarron. That's the Preds' first shot on goal of the third period, coming 7:52 into the period. At 9:48 of the third, Blaze is off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. 0 shots on goal for the Predators again right here, but again, I think they were just happy to see the time expire and come off the clock. At 12:38 of the third period, it's Sherwood scoring his 5th goal of the season. The Nashville Predators' 8th goal of the game, making it an 8-3 game. He just threw the puck towards the net, just sliding it along the ice, and it just disappeared through 3 defenders, a goaltender, and it ended up disappearing into the net, stuck under the padding there along the ice. It was just a weird optic for a moment as the puck seemed to completely disappear. Everyone seemed to lose track of it. It's in the net. Sherwood, his 5th goal of the season. Preds lead 8-3. At 13:53 of the third period, Binnington coming up with a save on McDonough. At 14:21, Lankinen a save on Shen. At 16:06, we see Nyquist off to the box. 2 minutes for slashing. This was a retaliation penalty for Slewfoot. It was probably the 2nd or 3rd retaliation that finally got Nyquist called. He's off the box. Lankinen comes up with a save on Sundqvist. Lankinen then comes up with a save on Falk. He loses the stick, but he hangs in there, and that would be his final save of the game. The Nashville Predators would close this game out with an 8-3 victory in St. Louis. The St. Louis Blues would outshoot the Nashville Predators 39-35 overall in this game. So for the Nashville Predators, the most goals they have scored in a game this season, and they absolutely pounced on the St. Louis Blues. 3 goals in the first period, and then they added a bunch more in the second and closed this thing out. Every time St. Louis got some momentum going and did score a goal, the Preds were able to answer back with numerous goals. Philip Forsberg leads the offensive charge. So many different numbers and different things to get into from this game, but for the Nashville Predators, for the first time in a long time, going on the road and winning a game, successful in-division victory over a team that's ahead of them in the standings. That's highly important. We've got a lot of analysis. We've got so much to break down in this game, and the box score is going to take quite a substantial amount of time. So let's get into it. Coming up next, right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast, we've got so much more to talk about from this game. Nashville Predators with the 8-3 victory.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Welcome back, Renegades of Puck podcast. Kevin Lankinen in this game, 36 out of 39, 3 goals against another outstanding start. Now on the season, 3-1, a 9.13 save percentage, 2.79 goals against average, and this was a great start against the St. Louis Blues on the road. His last start was tremendous on home ice, and other than the first start that he had of the season when he just looked very rusty, Kevin Lankinen has certainly performed up to expectations, if not above expectations. Again, that record of 3-1 on the season from your backup goaltender is outstanding, and I thought that he was strong in this game. There were a couple of mental and defensive lapses by the Nashville Predators, and he was tested a couple of times. Heavy shot volume, 39 total against 6 power play saves, as Nashville Predators did take a couple of penalties in this game. So again, Lankinen proving he is more than a quality backup for this Nashville Predators team. Really like the game that he's putting out on the ice right now. The confidence that he seems to be playing with. Philip Forsberg, let's just start there because just absolutely incredible first 19 games of the season. 2 goals, 1 assist in this game, 3 points, pouncing on a puck in this one, and then just getting a sick rip, a snipe, as we all come to expect. 5 total shots on goal. Now on the season, 11 goals, 24 points. 11 goals leads the team. 24 points leads the team, well over a point per game. And he's scoring in so many ways. When Philip Forsberg really gets going and is really confident, yes, we're all accustomed to the incredible high skill, high art goals, from the lacrosse goal, the Svechnikov, to so many others. The through the legs, the around the back, the attempted toss to himself over the net the other night. But he's scoring in so many ways right now. He's scoring with that great wrist shot that he has. He's even utilized a big, heavy slap shot at one point this season, scoring from all areas of the ice, bringing the jam going in that hard, and tonight being rewarded, being the first one to find a puck that had trickled through the netminder and getting to it. So for Philip Forsberg, he's just off to an incredible start. The 13 assists is a surprise, but the 11 goals this quickly in the season, we have at times waited for Philip Forsberg 30 games into the season for him to get past the 3-goal mark. He has far surpassed that, and in the first quarter of the season is now in double digits in goals, which means he's potentially on pace for another 40-goal season. If he can keep up this level of consistency, he's also up for potentially a 100-point season. That is a big mountain, though, ahead. 3 quarters of the season to go, but through the first quarter of the season, Philip Forsberg, without a doubt, the team MVP with 11 goals, 13 assists, 24 points, and scoring in so many different ways. Let's talk about Luke Evangelista. From healthy scratch to getting back in the lineup and just becoming immediately red hot. I guess seeing the game from a different perspective without his skates on really did make him a little bit more hungry. 2 goals and 1 assist for 3 points, 5 shots on goal in this game. The same stat line as Philip Forsberg, and just outstanding since that healthy scratch all over the ice in this particular game. One of the goals that he scored, just putting it right in that empty net. Just perfect position, perfect shot to finish the play after some great passing by his line mates. Luke Evangelista is bringing the jam all over the rink in every type of way. It is truly great to see his development. If he can continue to find consistency, and it's not going to be a 3-point game every night, and that's not what you expect out of him. By the way, that 3-point game puts him in some pretty rare air in Predators history for this point in his career, the number of 3-point games that he has. It is impressive. Sherwood also with 3 points in this game, a goal and 2 assists, 4 shots on goal. And listen, he is just a hard-working player. It is easy to get behind this guy. It is easy to support Sherwood out there on the rink. He goes about business the right way. He's a north-south player in every single way, maybe a 60-40 guy, because there's no such thing as a 50-50 puck battle when Sherwood's out there going into the corners. He does an incredible job for the Nashville Predators, rewarded with 3 points in this game. In the goal he scored, quite wacky, just tossed it towards the net and it slides right in, goes under the pad. Nobody seems to know where it is. He's not even celebrating it. Not sure if he wasn't celebrating because it's the 8th goal and it's a blowout, or because he just really didn't know it was in. But what a weird situation right there. But you watch a guy like Sherwood on your team, and the Nashville Predators now have shown the patience from the beginning of last season through last season to this season. Now Sherwood has developed as a young player into who should be in the lineup every day moving forward. If he continues to play with the way he's played through the first quarter of the season, then his NHL career has arrived consistently, and he will never have to worry about playing in the AHL again. Let's talk about Alex Carrier. Just because of 2 assists in this game, he led the defenseman in scoring. He continues to make his case. That's what's most important about this one. He continues because somebody's going to come out of the lineup. Schen's going to come off IR any moment now. He's going to be inserted back in the lineup because he's a veteran who hasn't been given his chance yet, so someone is going to lose their job. I'm going to talk about Stastny in just a second. Stastny is probably going to go back down to Milwaukee, but there are still an overload of defensemen on this Nashville Predators team at this moment in time. I have made my case that I think Barry should be the one out of the lineup. Fabro should be back in the lineup. This is the second game in a row that Dante Fabro was a healthy scratch. Stastny in this game, he ends up getting his first career goal, and just an outstanding read by Stastny showing why the Predators have so much hope for him in the future, getting his opportunity after Del Gaizo came up and was a success for a couple of games. So for the Nashville Predators, they do truly have an overload at D. I don't know what breaks the logjam. I think that Tyson Barrie is probably on the trading block. I just don't know what the Nashville Predators could possibly get for him because he's not put anything truly on tape this year. I mean, he did pick up an assist in this game, which is good, but the backlog at D for the Nashville Predators, Alex Carey making his case with 2 assists in this game. Stastny picks up a goal in this game. Del Gaizo had 3 assists in 3 games while he had his short call-up. And everybody seems to be playing pretty good hockey out of the youth portion of the Nashville Predators D-core. And, of course, McDonough now back healthy, really, truly helping out Roman Josi a little bit. And Luzon stepping up in many ways, bringing the physical element of the game, but also getting his first goal the other night and putting pucks on net on a somewhat regular basis. Luzon is really also stepping up and showing why he deserves to remain in the lineup. It's a good, healthy competition and battle developing at D. I just think Tyson Barrie should be right now the player out for a couple of games when Shen is ready to come back in. Let's say veteran for veteran in this particular situation. I'd like to see Dante Fabro get back out there on the rink. So again, Stastny gets his first career goal. Outstanding read. Congratulations to Stastny. He's been outstanding since coming up and getting his opportunity with the Nashville Predators. 8 goals, the most of the season. Only 4 players without a point in this game. Roman Josi, no points in this game. How weird. The Predators score 8 goals and Roman Josi does not have a single point. Parsonen missed his opportunity. Stick-handled one too many times, as he's done now a couple of times. Very close to the net. Thought that he should have had a goal in this game, but he did not. Foodie and McCarron also are the other 2 players without points in this game. So only 4 of your Nashville Predators that played in this game did not register a point. That's going to do it for the analysis portion of the thing. We got the box score to get through and so much more coming up after these messages from Stripe Digital and the rest of our great sponsors right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast. The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know, because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions. Welcome back. Hope everybody's had a great Thanksgiving weekend so far. Hope you capitalized on all those sales as we did. We've been telling you about the computer saga here in the bunker for the last couple of episodes, and we have secured, thanks to a great Black Friday sale, our brand new computer for the studio. It won't be here for a couple of days, so we got to try to manage our way through the next couple of episodes, and hopefully we'll be able to do that and deliver the content and the goods on time and not have any computer issues, but it's not going to be easy. So we're back, and we got to get to the box score, the good, cold, hard numbers that are the box score. And for the Nashville Predators, I mean, they just absolutely they filled it up when it comes to this. So let's talk about the goals category. First of all, Luke Evangelista had 2. Philip Forsberg had 2 in this game. Ryan O'Reilly, welcome back to St. Louis. I'm sure the Blues fans did not enjoy his return trip. He had 1 goal in this game. Sherwood had a goal. Trennan had another goal. Good to see Trennan continuing his offensive production as of late. And Stastny picks up his first career NHL goal. When it comes to assists, it was Sherwood with 2 and also Alex Carey with 2. Other defensemen with assists, McDonough, Luzon, and Barrie all with assists. Other forwards with assists. Tomasino, another assist on his streak as of late. Cole Smith, Colton Sissons, Gus Nyquist, Philip Forsberg, and Luke Evangelista all with assists. When it comes to the shots on goal, it was Luke Evangelista and Philip Forsberg tied with 5 to lead the Nashville Predators. Sherwood and Trennan chipped in with 4 apiece. They were second on the team. When it comes to block shots, 2 was the high, and you had a trio. Actually, you had more than 3. You had Quattro, 4. Foodie had 2 block shots. Also, Barry with 2, Yossi with 2, and Luzon with 2 block shots. In the physical category, not as many hits as I was expecting. I don't know if it was undercounted again for the second game in a row, but 2 different rinks, 2 different undercounts. Maybe the Nashville Predators just haven't really been bringing the physical jam in these last 2 games. Luzon with 4 hits, though, leads the Nashville Predators. Struggle to find anyone else with more than 1 because there wasn't anybody else on the team with more than 1. That is highly suspect of the Nashville Predators in the St. Louis Blues, especially considering the way the score went in this one. When it comes to the time on ice leaders, well balanced by Andrew Brunette. Your leader for the forwards is Yakov Trenin, 1841. Ryan O'Reilly second with 1817, and Sissons third with 1746. Everybody on the forward grouping over 10 minutes and nobody over 20 minutes. That is good time management in a blowout situation by the head coach of the Nashville Predators, Andrew Brunette. And the defense, it was, of course, Roman Josi leading the team in total time on ice, 22:56. No other defenseman over 20 minutes. Tyson Barrie just about got there at 19:41, and Ron McDonough at 18:39. Power play time on ice leaders out of the forward grouping, 4:39 for O'Reilly, 4:28 for Luke Evangelista, 5:06 for Tyson Barrie out there on the blue line, and 4:31 for the captain Roman Josi. Short-handed time on ice leaders for this Nashville Predators team. Out of the forward grouping, it was Yakov Trenin with 3:37 of superb penalty killing time, 4:33 for Luzon, and 4:27 for Alex Carey. Just a couple of other stats. Oh, wait, gotta mention the goaltender. 36 out of 39 for Kevin Lankin, and 3 goals against, a .923 save percentage for this individual game. 30 even strength saves, 6 power play saves, 0 shorthanded saves against. And for the Nashville Predators, just a couple of other numbers in the box score. Their power play was 1 for 5. Their penalty kill went 3 for 4. 30.6% face-off winning percentage. It's called face-off winning percentage, not face-off losing percentage. This is one of the most lopsided numbers the Nashville Predators had all season in this particular category. As a matter of fact, could not believe, with Ryan O'Reilly taking as many face-offs as he did in this game, that the Preds finished this low down. O'Reilly must have left too many tricks behind with St. Louis. Only 10 hits, already talked about that being a little bit too low of a number. 17 block shots is nice. 12 takeaways, only 3 giveaways. Good to see the Predators coming out on the positive side of that particular balance right there. That's going to do it for the box score. That's going to do it for the analysis. That's got you the preview. That's got you the recap. There's only one thing left to do, and that's close out this show. It's late on a Black Friday. We've been looking at sales of computers all day. We've been working on the studio and making upgrades. Even though it's a holiday weekend, we are still here working and trying to make things better, and that's what the Nashville Predators are doing as well. Let's all go back just about a week ago when the Nashville Predators were at the end of a 4-game losing streak, and things were looking bad. The Predators were in last place in the Central Division, and there wasn't a whole lot of enjoyable things to talk about. And then suddenly the Nashville Predators turned things around and have now won 4 games in a row. They did it improbably by coming back in the final minute and getting 2 goals in the final minute of the game against Colorado Avalanche, and they have now beaten a pretty good team in the St. Louis Blues that are ahead of them in the standings. So the Nashville Predators have beaten 2 teams on this 4-game winning streak that are ahead of them in the Central Division. So those are highly important and critical points now for later in the season, because the Predators, if they have hopes of being in the playoff race, are going to have to displace other teams ahead of them in the standings. And beating the St. Louis Blues, beating the Winnipeg Jets on Sunday would be a big one, but beating the Colorado Avalanche earlier this week is another huge one. So the Nashville Predators go from last place to 5th place with a 4-game winning streak, and suddenly they're 1 game from being 500 at the 20-game mark of the season under a brand new head coach with a brand new GM and a whole bunch of brand new players and moving parts. The Nashville Predators are getting better. They're improving, and they're showing that they can overcome the doldrums of a 4-game losing streak and some terrible, terrible road hockey. Now, the record on the road is still 3-6, and that's not great, but that last game, that was a big win in St. Louis against a team ahead of them in the standings, and they put up the most goals they scored all season long. Now the Nashville Predators need to bottle that up, take it on the road for their next game. Next road game won't take place until next Sunday in Buffalo, but a busy week coming up for the Nashville Predators. After losing those 4 games, it seemed like all doom and gloom. Now, after winning these 4 games, a whole lot of good vibes talking about this Nashville Predators team, and it's a whole lot more fun. Huge tilt with this Winnipeg Jets team coming up on Sunday. 5th place Preds versus 2nd place Winnipeg Jets. Preds 8 points behind the tied for 1st place Winnipeg Jets with 18 points on the season so far. A record of 9-10. They've scored 64. They've given up 62, and Andrew Brunette is starting to put his style onto this team. They're starting to become more instinctual, thinking about it even less, moving the puck faster, and they are certainly now going to the hard and greasy areas and competing harder than they had been in quite some time. It's a work in progress, and it's not going to continue just being winning streaks, but for the Nashville Predators right now, they are on a roll, and I really look forward to seeing how they take the momentum into this next game on home ice against the Winnipeg Jets after getting their doors blown off in Winnipeg back on November the 9th. It's been less than a month, but the Nashville Predators have certainly turned things around and could be at 500 with a successful game on Sunday night against the Winnipeg Jets on home ice. It's been a blast. It's been a lot of fun being back in the bunker. Sure hope we get that new computer in soon so we can continue updating you with the latest information and putting out videos and content nonstop. It's what we love to do. It's what we do here in the bunker. We are a podcast that exists in the moment. We are always talking about the game that just happened and the game that will take place next. We are willing to do 82 game-related shows and all of the other peripheral shows that we need to do throughout the year, usually about 125 to 130 shows in the cycle, not including playoffs. Hopefully there'll be a lot of playoffs to talk about, whether that's Nashville Predators or Milwaukee Admirals, but we exist in a very small time frame here, and that's what Renegades of Puck is doing. We are a micro podcast, if you will. We are always talking about what just happened and what is going to happen next, and we stay in that bracket, and that bracket continues to move along the schedule as we go through game 1 through game 82. We bring you incredibly comprehensive coverage and incredibly detailed, and we work incredibly hard to do so. So we appreciate your support. Thank you, Renegades. It means a lot. It's been a busy week, and it's been a lot of technical issues, and it's been a lot of troubleshooting, and we're getting through it little by little. So appreciate each and every one of you. If you can help us out on any of the social media, YouTube, or anywhere, please do so. I'm your host and Captain Crazy Charlie Saunier. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your viewership, and most importantly, I appreciate you. Stick taps, love, and respect.